Moi! Tervetuloa kaikille. Welcome everyone to another episode of Learn Finnish with me. Lorelai says, Moi, miten kokeeseen harjoittelu menee? How is your exam practice going? It's going. It's going. I have to admit, I'm not as disciplined as I would like. Sometimes I just don't have the energy or the motivation, but it's coming along. And actually, we'll try something new. There is a practice test, and we might have done a few exercises. This is from, is it like Jyväskylä University, I think. And so I'll try to do at least one of these. So like read a text, answer some multiple choice questions. And yeah, earlier today I was looking through the format of the exam, just trying to get a sense of like, how much will I be expected to read? How many questions will I have to answer? Because that's a really important part of test taking, is knowing how much time you have so that you can know when to start guessing or to wrap things up so that you spread out your effort, the best way possible. So, and it's kind of scary because it's like, oh shoot, they really expect you to read a lot. But then I've also heard some encouraging comments that, someone might say, well, you don't really have to get that many questions correct. Like you can still miss a lot of questions and still get intermediate. So I guess, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good here, I suppose. Or don't let the better be the enemy of just good enough. Almost not good enough. Oh yeah. But anyways, yeah, welcome everybody. Lorelai, JF, Polyu, Mirabelle, JS, Zio. Good to have you guys here. I don't know. There will be a point where I might not read chat as much just because I want to focus on doing the exam. So I'll be talking out loud, trying to explain how I'm translating, and there's going to be a lot that I won't understand, but and you guys can feel free, of course, in chat to give tips or whatever, but just be aware I might not see it for like 45 minutes. Knowing me, I will try to keep the Tolkien rants to a minimum, although I'll say up front, I saw the Odyssey over the weekend, and I have to admit, I was not a huge fan of the Odyssey. In fact, I feel like I had a pretty miserable experience the whole movie. I thought it was very disappointing. I didn't go in with super high expectations, but I did see it get so many good reviews that I was like, oh, maybe it's surprisingly good. And I just thought the writing was really, really lame. And it was a very frustrating film for me for a number of just, subjective reasons, right? Like, if you enjoyed it, great. I'm not going to rain on your parade. Also, I'm not going to rant about it. I just wanted to preface it by saying it's in one of my bottom movies, perhaps of all time. Genuinely. But okay, anyways, let me see a little bit of what you said here. What was it? I saw a funny comment. JF, it is Tyler's stream again. Can he beat Finnish 100% without taking damage? Tyler challenge attempt number 176. I love that. I love that. I love the crossover with my Stardew Valley challenges. I would not survive a single sentence in the Finnish language without making mistakes. So, yeah, no, I will take damage. I will take it personally as well. It's emotional damage. But yes. Oh, what else? Try to catch up with you guys here. Oh yeah, there's a solar eclipse tomorrow. Kuinka moni aiko? How many are planning katsoa to watch auringon pimennystä huomenna? The solar eclipse tomorrow. Also, I'm not translating all of that just on my own. I did get a little help from YouTube Translate here. But I do understand a lot of these words, like aurinko, auringon, for the sun. But yeah. What if it's not perfect, I'm not interested, and even perfect ones don't interest me enough to chase them abroad like some guys do? Wait, what? Oh, the eclipse. I was like, what are we talking about? Or I thought, for some reason, I thought we were talking about like a perfect run in Stardew Valley. I was so confused. But yeah, what is it? A total solar eclipse, I think, is the expression we often use in English. But yes. But yeah, don't look at the eclipse without protective glasses. Lorelei, thank you. Yes. Älä katso auringon pimennystä ilman suojalaseja. When I see this word pimennystä, it makes me think of pimento. Like, don't eat pimento cheese sandwiches without sunglasses. Sunflower pimento, auringon pimennystä. But no, that means the eclipse, apparently. To be honest, Finns also make mistakes in sentences. I think the most frustrating thing about learning Finnish, and I'm sure this might be the case in other languages, but it feels especially true in Finnish, is that you learn to say something one way, but then Finnish people will say, oh yeah, we would never say that though. Like, that's correct, maybe, but it sounds awkward, and we wouldn't say that. We would say something totally different. But you basically need to learn like 2 or 3 different versions of the same language, and it's really demoralizing. Maybe some people get excited. People like J.R.R. Tolkien would probably have a field day with the rich complexity of the language. But for me, it's like, oh my god, I'm not built for this anymore. Oh yeah. But yes. And also I'll mention up front that I'm taking next week off from streaming, just as kind of a holiday week. I don't know, maybe I might stream a little Stardew at the like over the weekend, and maybe at the end of the week, but I'm not beholden to that. So I'm taking next week off, and then 2 weeks. So yeah, I won't do my Tuesday stream for sure. I'll say that. 2 weeks from today, I'll do another stream, and that's the last stream before the exam. So this stream will give you a good idea of how competent, capable my Finnish ability is, at least with reading comprehension here. I am going to practice all the other sections as well, of course, but yeah, I feel like now is the time I really need to crank it into overdrive and practice a lot more. So yeah, Lorelei's like, you better practice on your holiday. Yes, the plan is I have to keep practicing, because if I don't if I practice a lot and fail, that would suck. Yes, but it'll suck even worse if I fail and I didn't really try as hard as I knew I could have. That's the worst feeling. But if I know I really gave my best, and sure, okay, it didn't work out, but maybe I can go back, study a bit more, take the exam again, whatever. But yeah, okay. I'm deciding. I mean, I think we've already done this first text here. I mean, they updated this website, which is also strange because I was on the website earlier today on my other computer, and it didn't look like this at all. I was still on the old version of the website. So did they update it literally in the middle of the day? Probably not. I don't know what the deal is. Well, let's take a look at this. We'll go from the bottom. Here we've got, these are open-ended questions. Lue tekstiä vasta kysymyksiin. So read the text and respond to the questions. That could be a good thing to practice. Do I want to do the open-ended questions, or do I want to do multiple choice? Moni valinta tehtävä. Luo artikkeli ja siihen liittyvät kysymykset. Um, yeah, okay, read the article and something about the questions. Like, respond to the questions, I guess. I always forget some of these connector words like siihen. Well, what does that mean? I don't know. And liittyvät. I always think of liitty as like a union of some kind. I don't know. Don't overthink it. But anyways, you're supposed to respond A, B, or C. So suomalaiset käyttävät sähkölaitteita turvallisesti. Finns using electronic devices safely. So that could be an interesting. Hey, at least I can translate this, you know, or I think I can. But oh, a horoscope. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Wait, what was up here? Model questions 2. I wonder why did they break up the model questions into 2 groups? Nuoret eivät osaa enää siivota. The youth no longer know how to clean. That could be interesting. And this one doesn't even have any instructions on it. I'm kind of curious. Let's just do this. Let's start here. I know I haven't done this. Oh, it's true and false. Okay. I guess for practice, in real practice, I wouldn't read this out loud or read it so slowly. I would have maybe like a few minutes to try and read and translate this, right? Because how many questions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions for this. But I might try to do a free verse translation, a very liberal Tyler translation, and then I'll at least to demonstrate what I understand, so you guys know what I get, what I don't get, and maybe I'll also make this a bit bigger on the screen, if you guys can see it a little bit better now, hopefully. But yes. In Mirabel, no, I'm not working as an English teacher currently. No, I mostly work now as a writer and editor, working mostly with the Finland.fi website. So I have a lot of articles over there if you want to go read them. But yeah. And JS says, even if it's the same text, I don't think you'd remember them that well. That is fair enough. Not just because I have a bad memory, but because it was a long time ago that we did this. Probably over a year. But yes. Yeah, maybe the text is from an ad article. Yeah, so that's also, a lot of the texts come from advertisements, announcements, emails, like any kind of practical text that you might receive, any sort of notification, but yeah, or just like news articles, really testing your ability to understand Finnish in a variety of contexts. All right, without further ado, let us start with the first sentence here. Kotitalousopettajat väittävät. Home economy opettaja, teachers. What? Home economics. It's literally the same in English. Home economics teachers väittävät, say, or I don't know what this word means, I forget, but something that the youth no longer know how to clean. He epäilevät. They suspect, is that what it means? Suspect or doubt that että nuoret joutuvat tekemään, that the youth joutua, I forget what that means, but that young people something to do nykyisin entistä vähemmän kotitöitä. Nykyisin. Why am I so confused by this? Because it's like, Yeah, they do something less with, oh, remember this? This is not homework, because that's a koti tehtava. Koti tua is like home chores, housework, household chores. But something about them doing fewer household chores. Siximus sivoamisen taito katoa. That's why also cleaning taito, skill, katoa, something. I don't know what katoa means, but probably like it's getting worse or something. I don't know. Tavarat ovat sekaisin. Why is there this hyphen? Is that some Finnish notation I don't know? Or is this like, does this look like it's formatted correctly? I've never seen a Finnish text formatted like this. Anyways, tavarat ovat sekaisin, roskat viemättä. Tavarat ovat sekaisin. So, tavara, things? Doesn't that mean goods? Goods are sekaisin. Dirty? I'm just trying to fill in with context, but I don't remember. Sekaisin. Goods are something. Roskat, trash. Viemättä, something. Probably the trash is building up. Piskit, pesemättä. The dishes. Well, pese means like to clean, but pesemättä, does that mean that they're not clean? Or am I, maybe I'm just doing really, yeah, pollute. I don't know what pollute is. Pollution, maybe? We're probably not that lucky with the cognate there. But pyyhkimättä, no idea. I should know what pyyhki is. I've seen that word before, but don't know. Epäsisteys. Uncleanliness? Ei tunnu, does not feel. Häiritsevän, like, does that mean damaging or disturbing? I think it's like disturbing. Edes silloin, even when silloin kun asunnossa, in the apartment jo haiseekin pahalta. In the apartment already. Is this a first? Okay, yeah. Sano opettaja Terhi Niitonen. So Terhi is reporting. The teacher is saying Haiseki. But why would the teacher be saying this? Haise, doesn't that mean like to eliminate? Bad. To eliminate bad. Or to eradicate. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably messing up all. It's a free verse translation. All right. I'm not looking at chat, by the way, just so you know, if you're commenting, I'm trying to translate this without any help at the moment. Okay. Good old poor Terhi, dealing with these youth who aren't cleaning or don't know how to clean, and also me, who doesn't know how to translate Finnish. All right, I guess this is a strange, I've never seen this format for a direct quote, but I guess this is good to know that Finnish people will just be in the, you don't even have a paragraph break. You know, we just put the direct quote. We don't even use quotation marks or anything. We just go straight. I know Finnish uses quotation marks though. This is so strange though. We just hyphenate our way through it. Anyways, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a typo, but eräs opiskelija valitti. Doesn't this mean like different or diverse students chose että hänen nenänsä, that their nose on aina tukossa is always in something. Ja iho hutisee. No idea what that is. Ja siinä, and by it or on it, I don't know, as it on ihot Kehottuma. I should know. Something about... They're probably just like, it's really... I kind of get the sense that there's something very uncomfortable about being in these conditions, right? That their noses are plugged. Is maybe that what it's like? Kehotin. I don't know. Hanta. Them. Ensimmäiseksi. Firstly. Sivoaman. To clean. Ja viemään. And I don't know, to visit or to spend, I don't know. Petivaatteet pakkaseen. Something about clothes. And I don't know what that is. No idea. Niin polupunkit kuolevat. So does this mean like it dies? They die? Polupunkit. Some type of punk. These kids are a bunch of punks. But I don't know. Something is dying, maybe? Kuolevat, right? Kuola. I think that means... Hold on, do I get... Yeah, kuola versus koulu is school. I get these confused. And kuolla is to die. Opiskelija oli ihmeissään. Students were something kun oireet hävisivät heti. When something, a moment, heti. Muistelee opettaja, remembers teacher Tiina Joensuu. Kotitalousopettajilla on. So home economics teachers have, however, kuitenkin nuorista myös myönteistä kerrottavaa. They have youth also myöntää. I don't know what that is. Something kerrottavaa. Like to listen or to tell? To tell. Henkilökohtaisesta hygieniastaan. Some personal hygiene. He huolehtivat aiempaa paremmin. I don't know why it's in this ending. I don't know why anything is in any ending, if I'm to be honest with you. They care or concern or worry, maybe? I feel like huolehtivat means like to worry. But I'm probably confusing this with something else, but aiempaa paremmin. Oh, I forget what aiempaa means, but paremmin means best. All right, let's translate the first question. All right. Oikein väärin tehtävä. True or false? Lue mainos ja siihen... This is not a question. This is just the instructions. Okay? Here we go. Kotitalousopettajien mielestä nykynuorten asunnot ovat likaisia. I hate true or false questions because they often can be like, it is logical to be that it would be true, but the text doesn't say it directly, so it's not true, right? Like I hate those. You get into this like this weird thought loop sometimes with some of these questions, but I don't know, maybe it's not that complicated. Let's try to translate this. Also, I don't want to highlight that. Okay, home economics, in the opinion of home economics teachers, I don't know what nuku means, but some type of the youth asunot apartments are dirty. That is true. If they don't have the skills, their apartments must be dirty. Although I don't know for sure that this is directly stated in the text. maybe their apartments are clean for other reasons unrelated to their skill, right? Maybe they have cleaners come and do it for them. I just didn't understand the text enough to know if the teachers themselves know enough about the residences of their students. Like, the home economics teacher doesn't go into your home, right? So how would they know if your home is dirty? I don't know. Maybe it was mentioned in here that the students admit that they live in filth or something like this. But anyways, so I'm just explaining my thought process here. Obviously, in the actual exam, it's just going to be rapid fire. You know, I won't have time. But at least there we go. Nuoret tekivät aikaisemmin enemmän kotitöitä kuin nyt. So young people are doing does that mean at the same time? Aikaisemmin. Or does that mean earliest? What? Oh my god, my brain is... I just feel like I'm having constant brain farts. Like, I just don't know. Anyways, more... The earliest? Aikaisemmin. More home chores than now. Okay. Young people are doing more chores earlier, previously, than now. I guess that's true, because it did say up here about they're doing fewer chores. They're doing less housework. So by logic, this has to be true, right? Hold on, let me make sure I understand this. The youth are doing more... No, wait, enemmän means more. They're doing more house chores than now. Wait, tekivät, does that mean in the past? Young people did more chores previously than now. True. It's kind of embarrassing that, like, such an obvious word, I should know if it's present tense or past tense. But my experience with Finnish right now is I just don't have the space in my brain. It's like no matter how much I practice, the words just don't stick, even if I spend hours every day. But hey, you know what? We're not going to be negative. We're just going to move on. We're going to soldier on. Patiat. No idea what that is. Peitot. Huh, that's... Peitto. What does peitto mean? I don't know. Peitot ja tyynyt kannattaa viedä ulos. Something about going outside? Kannattaa. I don't know what kannattaa means. It looks like the word for to translate. So it's sort of like saying that these things go outside? I don't even know what these things are. I don't even remember reading these earlier anywhere in the text. These are maybe synonyms for things that are in the texts. But I'm just going to say false because this seems so strange. And I feel like true or false questions usually err on the side of being false. Like, when in doubt, just guess false. Like, there's probably like 55% false. I don't know if that's actually true, but I feel like that's how it is. Nuoret pesevät itseään vähemmän kuin ennen. Young people are cleaning themselves. They are vähemmän, less kuin ennen. Less than before. See, this is one of these questions where I don't really know if it said that directly, because my understanding of doing housework, like kotitöitä, does that also include washing yourself, bathing? my understanding of this is that you're bathing. Pesevat itsean. But maybe it isn't bathing. Maybe it's just reflexive in the sense that you are cleaning yourself. You're cleaning the apartment by yourself, alone. Right? Or just on your own. You don't need help. Maybe that's what it means. So in the off chance that it means that, I'll say true. And there's probably a good overlap that you might, if you have poor household hygiene, you probably also might have poor, like, personal hygiene. Maybe that's in there. I don't know. I don't remember, but let's continue. Paha paju asunnossa häiritse nuoria. Paha means like bad or evil. Paju, no idea what that word means. Asunnossa, in the residence. Häiritse nuoria, disturbs the youth. Oh, is this a smell maybe? Maybe it's like a bad smell in the apartment disturbs the youth. And there was something about the nose. Again, I don't know. I really don't know. But that's the best I can do. All right, there we go. How do I see the answers? Do they not give... They don't give you the answers? Is there like an show answers button? Oh, what the... Maybe I need you guys to help me out? Or... Embed? Why would I embed this? Or reuse? That's obviously not. So there's no way to know if you got the answers correct or not. Wow. What the hell? All right. Well, how about this? I'm going to alternate between... Actually, wait. I have an idea. Hold on a second. Let me set this up. Let's see if I can do this. 1 second. Oh, this almost kind of works. Hold on. Yes. Let's see if the... I got one of the pages over here. It's been translated, so we can compare. So our answers are still here on the left side. I'll try to scroll so at least you can sort of see what the answers were. But yes. Let's translate this really quickly, and then I'll maybe look at chat in a little bit. Nuoret eivät osaa enää siivota. Young people no longer know how to clean. I got a perfect score on that. All right. I at least understand the topic. Kotitalousopettajat väittävät. Home economics teachers claim. All right. Well, I mean, I didn't know the word, but it didn't damage my understanding of the text, right? Että nuoret eivät osaa enää siivota. That young people no longer know how to clean. Got it. No problem. He epäilevät. They suspect. They suspect. Okay, yeah. I did get that. Että nuoret joutuvat. That young people are having to do less housework. Oh, is this another expression of necessity? I swear to God. There are too many expressions of necessity in the Finnish language. There's too many words. Too many ways of saying that you need to do something, you should do something, you ought to do something, you have to do something, you're required to do something. I mean, I'm proving a point that I guess there's a lot in English as well, but it feels like it's way harder in Finnish. But anyways, all right, enough complaining. they suspect that young people are having to do less homework. Nuoret joutuvat tekemään less housework these days. I was actually thinking about what was it? Is it nykyään? Is that nykyään? But here nykyisin. It's like why do I want to say nykyään? That's not it. Nykyään is these days or nowadays. Nykyisin is these days. Entistä. Yeah, some of this I just don't understand, but yeah, less housework. That is why the skill of cleaning is also disappearing. Siksi myös siivoamisen taito. Ah, yeah, the skill of cleaning. Oh, and I didn't translate this as disappearing. Katoa. Katoa. But I did say something about it going away or diminishing. I don't remember. I think I got like 70% of the meaning. All right, tavarat ovat sekaisin. Let's see, where are we? Things are in a mess. I said things are dirty. That was my translation. Roskat viemättä. The rubbish hasn't been taken out? That's how you translate that? Maybe Google's doing a bit more of like a natural English translation. I think I translated more literally like the trash accumulates. I don't know if this means accumulate, but it's the same meaning. I got the meaning. Actually, I think I translated this very well up to this point. And then something about the dishes, right? The dishes haven't been washed. Yeah, this is such a weird, like, this has to be something like pesematon or something like that, right? Pesematon. Like when you add that ending of like maton or maton, it means like the opposite, or you know, that they are unwashed, without washing. The dishes haven't been washed and the dust hasn't been wiped. Okay, yeah, and the same here. It's like this, I think this comes from that maton, but maybe not. I'm sure people in comments are being very helpful and I'm not looking at it right now because I just want to keep going with my pace. So I'll check the chat here in a second and try to vindicate you all for helping me out. But anyways, yeah, I didn't translate this at all. I just had no idea because pollute is not pollution, but it is dust. And pyyhki is something about wiping the dust. The untidiness, I think I said uncleanliness or something like that, doesn't seem to bother them. Ei tunnu. Oh, it doesn't seem. I said it doesn't feel bothersome. Even when the apartment, kun asunnossa, in the apartment, already smells bad. Jo haiseekin pahalta. Oh, hais. Now, okay. There's, why don't I remember like haistele? Yeah, because it's like one is the act of smelling, like if you are smelling something, versus something just giving off an odor. And in this case, I think it's the second one of just giving off the odor, like it smells, haise. When in the apartment, it already smells bad. So I think I got one wrong, because I said that the students are disturbed by the smell. But the teacher says they're not disturbed by the smell. So yeah. Eräs opiskelija valitti. One student complained. Oh, I should know the word for complain. I do it all the time. I said chose. Why did I think it means chose? To choose is like, is it valita or valinta? Yeah, but the words are really similar. So yeah, but and also one student, how would you get that from this? I thought this meant like diverse students. Anyways, I was wrong. In Finnish, you don't use the word yksi for one in the most, you have to use some other word for it, apparently. Että hänen nenänsä on aina tukossa. One student complained that his nose is always blocked. I did actually guess that. Tukossa. But I don't know, I didn't quite believe what I was saying. I don't know. And his skin itches. Ja iho kutisee. Iho is skin? I didn't know that. And kutisee is itches. Ja siinä on ihottumaa. And has a rash. And on the skin, in this case, right? Iho ja siinä on ihottumaa. There is a rash. Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I translated this completely wrong. I don't even remember how I translated it. I was not confident at all in my translation. I told him, kehotin, I told häntä, him. Yeah, I didn't get that. I've never seen kehotin. And that means, I thought kerro is to tell. Keho. I don't know where that comes from. It's another way of saying it, apparently. I've been studying Finnish how many years? And I'm still encountering, 43 different ways of saying the same word. Welcome to the Finnish language. I told him, hold on, where were we? To clean first, ensimmäiseksi siivoamaan, and put his bed linen in the freezer, ja viemään petivaatteet pakkaseen, and put his bed linen in it so the dust mites will die. How old are these students? Because, at some point you have to call like child protective services or whatever, right? The authorities have to step in because shouldn't the parents? I've seen some crazy episodes of Hoarders, and it's, really traumatizing for a lot of children to grow up in a situation like that. Okay, I told him to clean first and put his bed linen in the freezer. Viemään, and I told him to put the bed linen, petivaatteet. Vaatteet is like clothing, but in this case, it's the clothes that your bed wears. I just like to imagine the bed is like all dressed up and looking sharp. But why is it peti? I've also never seen that word before in my life. I thought I knew the word for bed. Sanku. But apparently not. Pakkaseen. In the freezer. Pakka. Okay, so actually I do know pakka from like pakkasta. Whenever there's like a freeze in the weather, you can talk about the freeze is like pakkasta or something like that. Some similar variation of pakka. Niin pöllipunkit. Oh, punkki. I remember that it could mean like a tick. But in this case, it's referring to the dust mites. Dust mites. Are those different from bed bugs? Bed bugs are a different kind of mite. I don't know. I don't even know what a dust mite is. Do we have those in American English? Like, do we just call them bed bugs? Are they the same thing? When I think of a dust mite, I think of a dust sprite, as in Stardew Valley. And they give you coal when you kill them. So, kuolevat, so that they will die. I did get this, but I was so confused by the end of the sentence that I was like, I hope the kids aren't dying. The student was amazed when the symptoms disappeared immediately. Recalls teacher so-and-so, right? The student was amazed. Yeah, I didn't. Opiskelia oli. Is that the right translation? Because what? Oh man, my brain, it hurts. When I see opiskelia, in my mind, this is plural. Students. But it's not. Right? It's singular. Oh, but because there's an I and a J, it looks plural to me. Anyways, the student was amazed when the symptoms, oire. I do know that word now that I have it translated. I know I've seen it before. Hävisevat, disappeared. We had another word for disappeared. Where was it? It was katoa. Hävisevat heti, immediately. I did get this, or I said a moment, but it's immediately as an adverb. Yeah, muistele, recalls teacher Tina Joensuu. However, kuitenkin, home economics teachers have also have positive things to say about young people. On nuorista myös myönteistä kerrottavaa. What? Oh, this means positive. I think I've seen this before. Myönteistä kerrottavaa. To say. Oh. Nuorista, about young people. They take better care of their personal hygiene than before. I didn't understand that. I totally messed up that question. Oh, man. How did I mess that up? Let me see. What was the sentence? Henkilö kohtaisesta hygieniastaan. Something about personal hygiene. He huolehtivat aiempaa paremmin. Better than before. What was the other one up here that was like, or it was in a question. Oh. Yeah, okay. They take care. Oh yeah, huolehti can mean to take care. Huolehtivat. To take care of the personal hygiene. Wow. Yeah, I don't know why. They take better care of their personal hygiene. Is that why the ending is like this? It's their personal hygiene than before. All right, let's see the yeah, so the first one was home economics teachers think that the homes of today's young people are dirty. Is it properly? I don't even know if I could answer this in English. Because yeah, maybe I'm what's the word? Am I skeptical, or am I just like too logical? Because the text doesn't actually claim that. It simply claims that they no longer know how to clean. They're having to do less housework. But this is just one teacher who's saying this, and the quote could just be about like one student's apartment, right? And here, one student complained. This doesn't mean that in general, home economics teachers thinks that young people are dirty. Like, maybe these could just be like the worst students. Like, but anyways, it probably is you just have to answer that it is true, right? It is true, and I'm going to give myself credit because that's what I said. Nuoret tekivät aikaisemmin enemmän kotitöitä kuin nyt. Young people used to do more housework than they do now. This was like difficult to get all the words in my brain because it was like the young people used to do more housework than they do now. Maybe I'm also like the text hasn't proven that that's true. What, are we supposed to just take one random teacher's word for it? Like, where's the evidence? You know, okay, fine. Okay, if that's what the text says, I guess we're evaluating whether or not the claim is in the text, right? Not so much of whether or not it's actually true. That's part of my problem, is I start trying to figure out if something is actually true. That's a me problem. Young people used to do more housework than they do now. And that is, according to the text, it's true. It says here, maybe this is also what's frustrating, because the text doesn't actually say that, or it says it in more couched language. They suspect that young people are having to do less housework these days, but that they don't know. They don't know that young people are doing less housework. So you can't conclude that young people did more housework previously than before. There could be other complicating reasons. Like, this is just bad science. You know, you have to test your hypothesis correctly. You can't just jump to a conclusion that you want to reach simply because it seems logical, especially when there's other complicating factors. But I think we got it correct. I mean, we don't know what the answers are because this website sucks and doesn't tell us. But I guess, you know, we could just ask ChatGPT, basically. You know, that's the state. This is also what's so frustrating about like trying to learn the Finnish language. There are no good resources. People are like, oh, there's so many resources online. This is it. There are like 0 practice exams for the Uki exam. And even when I get the books suck. They don't have explanations in English or even in Finnish. They have like tiny little sections at the back of the book that might give you the answer, but it doesn't explain any of it. And even then, the books are really expensive to purchase, and they're always checked out from the library. So, all right, enough complaining. But I just want to say my piece. All right, let me move up a little bit so you guys can see this. All right. Mattresses, patiat, blankets, peitot, and pillows, tynnyt. Yeah. Actually, I do recognize the word for pillow now that I see it translated. I know I've seen that before, but kannattaa viedä ulos. Was that it? That's not in here. Here, it's saying put his bed linen in the freezer. Yeah. I think I got this one correct as well. And I mean, one strategy you could take your stuff outside and leave it in the sun. And that's usually a pretty good strategy to like disinfect it, you know, or to the sunlight can often kill a lot of bacteria or whatever. But that wasn't mentioned in the text, so it's false. Nuoret pesevät itseään vähemmän kuin ennen. Young people wash themselves less than before. I said true. And it was, yeah, this had to do with personal hygiene. Yeah, I was correct in the first translation that it's just about washing yourself, not cleaning your apartment by yourself. And here it's actually false. The correct answer should be wrong. The correct answer should be false. So I got this one incorrect. I mean, I wrote correct, but I got it incorrect because the correct answer was incorrect. And the incorrect answer was incorrect as well. Now I'm very confused. I feel like I'm that scene out of The Princess Bride, where they have a whole debate about where the poison is. And the last question. A bad smell in the apartment bothers young people. And this should also be varying. Because I couldn't translate it well enough. Something about, yeah, because I got distracted by this. That his nose is always blocked. To me, that would be a sign that the bad smell bothers you. The bad smell is so bad it blocks your nose. But in this case, it's a good thing because if your nose is blocked, then you can't be bothered by the smell. Wait, what is this? Lopeta. Oh, wait, am I supposed to now? Oh, there's an ending. I can check. Hold on. 3 out of 6. Wait, which ones did I miss? Wait, I got this one correct? This counts as one of the points I got correct, even though it's literally just the instructions. I also got this one correct. Hold on, let's go back and make sure we... Oh my gosh. I got this one correct. Wait, is that the only 3 I got correct? I got this one incorrect. Wait, why did I... Wait. Wait. Okay, I wrote that this is incorrect, but how is this oika? How is it true that mattresses, blankets, and pillows should be taken outside? The text does not say that at all. Things are in a mess. The rubbish hasn't been taken out, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing. Also, wait, is the translation bad here? Let's come back to Google Translate. I mean, it's all Google Translate at the end. It is a good idea to take mattresses, blankets, and pillows outside. Is that mentioned in the text at all? It said it only said to put stuff in the freezer. This is what's so frustrating about this. Maybe something didn't translate completely. But apparently I got this incorrect. You guys let me know in chat. I'm going to read chat here in a second and I want to be vindicated or I want to be corrected. I am willing to set aside my ego and my frustration if I'm truly incorrect. But I think I should get a correct point here. All right, and this one, yes, I know I got this one incorrect. I didn't translate the last sentence correctly. And then this one, I also know I got incorrect. Yeah. But I don't agree with this one. Let me know what you guys think. If the text says sky is green and the question asks that, the correct answer is green. Not the sky is not green in reality. Yeah. But they don't know that we know that they know that we know. Exactly, Helion, yes. It didn't say pakastaminen. Pakastimen. What? The assumption is that in Finland, outside equals freezing weather. Wait. Oh my god. I told him to put his bed linen in the freezer. Put it... Wait. Oh, wait a second. Is this a mistranslation? Because isn't there a specific word for the freezer? That's like... We would never refer to the outside as the freezer. Like, put it outside in the freezing weather. But even if you said that, like... Even Google Translate can't do this properly. Can't keep up with the insanity of the Finnish language. I mean, not that it ever could do it, but even with all of large language models can't manage to translate it. Okay. Okay, that question is a bit odd one, but assuming just the text, the correct answer for taking out is false. Yeah, oh yeah, jääkaappi is the ice cabinet. Comes from the time when electricity wasn't common and people put ice in the basement to keep it cool enough for the groceries that we needed it. Remember that Finnish is a very old language and hasn't changed much through the years. The question's a tad misleading. It assumes too many things. But pakkaseen means outside in the cold. Okay. Yeah. Pakkastimen would be to the freezer. Okay, that was something earlier someone mentioned. Yes. Yeah. Pakkastimen would be to the actual freezer component of your refrigerator, or just a freezer that, whatever, the appliance. It's a bit of a cultural thing as well, says Helion. It doesn't mean that the freezer is the appliance. Pakkaseen can just mean outside in the freezing cold. But can it also mean in the freezer? But yeah, freezer is a bad translation, says Poyu. Some say laittaa pakkaseen, meaning to put into the freezer. So, okay, JS is also pointing out that actually some people do say you put it in the freezer, referring to, yeah, pakkaseen, using the same word. But Lorelei says no freezer is in the text. Pakkaseen versus pakkastimen. I could use them interchangeably when talking about the appliance, so it can be also a dialect thing. That M8 question should have some more in the question, like viedä ulos pakkaseen. Yes, thank you. It angers me because it's like the people that write the test suck at their jobs. Call the police, lock them up. Like, I wouldn't mind so much if someone was bad at their job if it didn't, like, affect people, like, in such a real way, you know? Like, when you make a bad test. But, okay, you know, maybe this is just an example. Maybe the actual exam is perfect. But I just have a feeling that the actual exam is going to suck like this. And we probably won't be able to dispute the exam results. Because we won't have access to the exam after the exam has been taken, and we won't know which questions we got right or wrong. You just receive a score. What the hell? There should be a law that every year the exam has to be released and people can read it and study it. Like, why not? What are you afraid? That people are going to learn the answers? What? They're going to learn the answers to how to speak the Finnish language? Just every year make a new test. You know, they don't reuse the same test questions, right? It can't be that hard to come up with a test. A new test every time they only give the test once every like 3 months. Like, just come up with a new exam. It's not that hard. It's only a few texts. And we should have the right to debate and push back. I want to take this. I want to litigate this. It is my right as an American. It's not just a right. All right. It's a cultural tradition. It is a cultural inheritance to take the National Language Board to court, a class action lawsuit on behalf of all the people trying to prove their Finnish skills, to have certain questions thrown out for being bad questions, misleading questions. Oh, I hated that in school. When teachers would intentionally put misleading questions on exams, like just kind of to mess with you, you know? Oh, I understand sometimes mistakes can happen or whatever, but come on. Lorelai, you're cackling over there. The big freezer is outside. This is such a Finnish question as well. That for you, putting something in a freezer means literally just walking outside. Well, I would like to have you know it is not freezing outside. How am I supposed to know what time of year that this interview is happening? Right? There are many months of the year that it's not freezing outside. So what is the student supposed to do during summer? Sorry, you got to wait till the first freeze of the year before you can get rid of your dust mites and all the allergies and stuff you're suffering from. We don't, you know? I grew up in Texas, all right? There's like one day a year when you can do that. Oh, yeah. Written and spoken language messing with so many people's heads. I also remember looking at the English exam because I was curious to see. I'm like, oh, what are the questions in English? And I want to read I wanted to see if I could and there were so many dumb trick questions on the exam, and I was like, why do they do that? Why can't they just, if you want to make a test hard, then just ask good but like difficult questions. You don't have to make trick questions that force people to, I don't know, overthink a problem. Just the text can just be difficult by being like more advanced. You don't have to actually make up dumb questions like this. You need a really big freezer to fit a mattress inside it. Exactly. Because in the original, the mattress never went outside. Look, one student complained, I told him to put his bed linen outside, not the mattress. The bed linen does not include the mattress. It is literally just the blankets that cover your mattress, maybe that are on your pillows. You know, like it's just the sheets. The bed linen, when you purchase bed linen, you are only purchasing the sheets. Nobody in their right mind would also say, yeah, you said you wanted the bed linen, so we delivered this €1,000 mattress to your apartment. You didn't want it? Well, sorry, you owe us €1,000 now because we thought you wanted the mattress with the linen. No. Petit vate, and literally, it's literally the clothes. Vate, not the mattress. Bed linen. Well, okay. Yes, the definition of bed linen in English: sheets, pillowcases, and duvet covers. There is no mattress. I'm sorry guys, but I'm so triggerable right now because of the Finnish language. Studying the Finnish language has broken me as a man. I am no longer a man. I am a shell of a man filled with rage. Petivate. Let's see. Bed clothes. Who calls it bed clothes? That's not even a good translation. This is probably some weird British thing, I bet. Oh yes, the bed clothes. No. There's no... Look. The bedclothes fundamentally cannot include the mattress. That's like saying my body is also my clothes. My skin is not a clothing item. That's just part of my body. Oh, guys, okay, let me come back to chat. So yeah, why would they tell this? The text did not say to put all this other bullshit outside in the freeze. So not only are they wrong here, viera ulos, because here this word pakkasen can reasonably simply mean to a freezer, because we don't know the time of year. He may have a large freezer in, you know, at home, and and he's only putting his sheets in it. You can fold up your sheets pretty tightly and stuff them in there. It's not that difficult. It's also not clear how many sheets he has. Maybe he only has one sheet. The bedclothes. And this is bed clothing. So the text did not say to put your whole freaking mattress in the freezer and or outside. This guy doesn't even clean his apartment. You think he's going to go through the effort of manhandling a freaking mattress down his hallway? That's way more effort than just cleaning your apartment. Actually, I would argue that these items, none of these qualify as petit vatet. These are the objects on which the vatet contain them, right? A mattress, a blanket that takes the duvet cover, a pillow that takes the pillowcase, the mattress takes whatever, the bed sheets. None of those things should be moved outside, or at least according to the text, none of it. The sky is green in the text, all right? So we shouldn't insist that it's blue over here. Let's be real, that sentence should just continue. I wouldn't mind people being bad at their job if it didn't affect me. Yes, Helion. Me and all the other victims in my class action lawsuit that is pending. It is pending. Oh, Helion, it can't be that hard to come up with new tests. Here I am starting to come up with exam questions for an exam that is only 4 months away and stressing out hard about it. Well, look, hard things must be done, all right? So do them. But also, you should get paid well for what you do, right? If it's hard and valuable work, it should pay well. I'm too autistic to understand some of the more vague questions in reading comprehension tests, right, Lorelai? I mean, it's great. Oh, Helion, oh no, I better not give you an idea. Misleading questions. Helion says, I repeat from earlier, you're overthinking these. I am not overthinking. I am appropriately thinking. What other way? At what point was I thinking the correct amount? At what point did I have the correct amount of thinkerage that would have given me the correct answer? All I can do is just logically think about, oh, did the text say that we should put these things outside? Arguably, I didn't even know what these things were. So by that logic, maybe I don't even deserve to get this correct anyway. Maybe it's the karma I deserve for not understanding. But when I did learn the meaning, it infuriated me even more, because I know that if I had understood the sentence, I still would have gotten it wrong. Because the simplest logical explanation here is the statement justified in the text? No. At no point does it mention mattresses, blankets, or pillows being taken outside. Instead, it refers to the bed linens, and it also uses a word that means it might not have gone outside. It could just go into the freezer inside the household. Also, this kannattaa, I didn't even understand this, because here it's saying it should be taken outside. Well, let's see, if I go back, did we have it? Yeah, here. It is a good idea. What is that? Kannattaa. To support, to bear, to favor, to endorse. Wow, okay. That's interesting. So the translation here sounds maybe a bit more like a requirement that they should be taken outside, but it's more like it's a good idea to take these things outside. Also, maybe it's not a good idea. What if, like, why would you need to do that? Like, maybe it's a good idea for this guy, but just in general, is it a good idea to take those things out? No. Who knows? Maybe taking those things out could lead to other problems. There's all sorts of diseases and dirt and stuff outdoors. Why would you take stuff out and do that? How are you supposed to take it outside? Do you just dump it on the ground? Do you find like some nice a clean blanket of snow you can lay? Do you just toss your mattress into the slush? Just throw it onto the lake, the frozen ice on the lake. Is that the best place? In the Pakkasen? Or maybe you're supposed to spend the night outside yourself in the bed. Maybe the mites are living on and in your skin and your hair, so you have to freeze yourself. You're part of the problem. Why not? It might not be a good idea to take stuff outside. Like, here's what I think the true and false should be. It should just be a lot simpler. Just say the same thing that's in the text. And you can use synonyms, but don't come up with totally different words that don't actually refer back to the text. I knew I was going to get triggered by true and false questions. I just should have stuck to multiple. I'm going to get triggered by multiple choice as well, I swear. Based on the way this test is structured. All right, I'm going to start calming down. I'm going to read chat. I'm going to try not to get triggered, but I am defending myself. I'm definitely not. I am appropriately thinking it, and I will have my day in court. But when you're properly cleaning the bed stuff from the dust mites, you truly should take all the things outside to the freezing air. That might be logical, but again, remember, it's not in the text. Wishing you good luck and prosperity with the exam. And so we got hung up on one question. Oh, now I'm in trouble? For defending it, for defending myself a little too long, a little too at length, well, all right, crucify me. Maybe I just don't care. Oh, he'll turn this into a Tolkien rant. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Yeah, don't get too triggered with the language. If you clean, you don't need to worry about the dust mites. It was one question. Oh, so now you're trying to downplay. Oh, so I'm sorry that you've been wronged, but you know, it wasn't that bad. So just, you know, just don't be upset about it. I have the right to be upset about every transgression that has ever been transgressed upon me in my lifetime. Thank you very much. Yes. But anyways, yeah, Tyler's too American for this. But yeah, you would still need to know the basic cleaning fact that dust mites live in the mattresses also. Wait, Helion, are you saying that I would need to know that for the exam? But that's not testing someone's language ability, right? Like, why would you expect them to know that? That is prejudice. And it's not just its prejudice. It goes against the language exam's own directive, its own mission. It states explicitly that, for example, if you complete the writing portion of the exam, there are opinion pieces, and you can write an opinion, and there's no right or wrong answer. You can say whatever you want, and it can be completely nonsense. But as long as the nonsense is in sensible Finnish, then it's fine, right? As long as it's like grammatically, or maybe not even grammatically correct, but like there's some logic to it, I suppose, right? That it's clear that you're communicating an idea and supporting it, even if the idea is a bit ludicrous and incorrect in terms of actual reality. It's also a culture test. It is not, though, Helion. It's a language exam. Like, I don't know, maybe it does say something about the you're supposed to know a few things about, I mean, but okay, come on. This is absurd. If you're gonna argue that part of my cultural knowledge should include knowing that it's a good idea to put my mattress outside, like, that's ridiculous. That's, oh wow, Finnish people, wow, where is your mattress outdoors festival day? You know, like, do you all get together and put your mattresses outside on the same day? I'm sure maybe some Finnish person is like, actually, there was this one time we did that in my neighborhood. That's not cultural, though. Like, even if you're going to argue, like, yeah, okay, you should know some cultural things in order to, like, understand certain aspects of the texts, but, like, this is also just a problem with true and false, because, again, as we were saying earlier, the sky is actually blue, but if the text says it's green, then it's true that the sky is green according to the text. So it's like layers of inception, so that even if I know the cultural knowledge, I might still get the answer wrong, because the text could say something opposite to the cultural knowledge. Right? Shouldn't it be cultural knowledge that these native speaking Finnish youth know how to clean their stupid apartments? Apparently they don't. So they aren't culturally Finnish. Right? I mean, who is supposed to know what? That's my question now. Who is really responsible for knowing? And how can you put that in a language exam? How can you say that you're testing someone's language ability if there are aspects of the language that are cultural, like, oh, the word for sauna, or certain words relating to going into a sauna? That's okay. I can see that being central to, like, Finnish culture. But if you're going to say, like, cleaning your mattress by leaving it out in the freezing weather, I mean, that's a bit ridiculous. That has no cultural institute behind it. I mean, come on. And they're adding JS, they are actually adding a citizenship test that tests you on historical and cultural knowledge. So the language exam shouldn't have this dual purpose. It should just test you on your language ability. And insofar as culture is part of the language, then sure, like there could be cultural words you should be aware of, but you shouldn't be expected to know certain cultural things about like putting a mattress outdoors in the freezing weather. And that is my hill I will die on. I'm joking, but I am also actually serious. Like this, it really discourages me because I just want a language exam to be fair, and it doesn't feel fair. But yeah, actually, yeah, the government, before these citizenship tests get released, all members of parliament, or should be subject to the test, and that their results should be released to the public. Who triggered him, says Jay. The world. That's all. But Jay, taking bedding out during winter makes them so fresh, nothing weird. I'm going to start calming down. I'm going to start reading chat. I'm not getting triggered. Bad choices were made right there. Yeah. And yeah, wait. I mean, I'll say this. I have never, in all the years of living in Finland, seen a goddamn mattress outside. Where are all your mattresses outdoors? I've never seen it. And I live in like the most densely populated area of the entire country. Surely there would be some Finnish people putting all their bedding outdoors in the middle of winter. I have never seen it. I'm genuinely racking my brain to think like, where is this cultural knowledge that you guys are holding up as somehow integral to your Finnish spirit? It's like, I feel like I'm being gaslit. Oh man, one bad question. And yeah, and dust mites aren't such a big problem anyway. But okay, how about this? Even if maybe you disagree with certain aspects of what I've said, we can probably all agree that this is not, the question is a bad question. And if it's not a terribly bad question, it certainly leaves room for improvement. And that it doesn't truly test a student's knowledge of the Finnish language, because here it's not referring to any of these things, even by Finnish's by the standard of the Finnish language's own definition of this word. I don't know how to explain that. These things aren't the clothing of the bed, the bed linens. But so yeah, we can agree on that, and that helps me maybe to decompress, calm down a little bit. But Helion, maybe this will inspire you to write nice questions or very specific questions, because some of these are good questions, right? Like some of them, the ones that I got wrong, I have no problem with being wrong. Right, young people wash themselves less than before. I got this one wrong because I just didn't quite understand this final sentence. Right. And I was thinking too logically, or not logically, but just strategically, because I know the test is about they don't know how to clean, so maybe there was something in here about them not cleaning themselves. I mean, it was like there was a bunch of misleading stuff about how like his skin itches and has a rash. Right? But in general, students take better care of their personal hygiene than before, right? So that's a fair question. This is also, I feel like, not such a great question because it's literally referring to only like one student. Although I guess another person said it here as well, that the smell, even when the apartment smells bad. Although actually, this sentence doesn't say that the smell doesn't bother them. It's the untidiness that doesn't bother them. The smell might bother them a lot, but they might not associate the untidiness with the bad smell. So they don't clean the apartment. Right? Look, you need somebody, society needs people like me who see through bullshit, all right? Who can call out the nonsense and be like, no. The text doesn't say that. Maybe I missed my calling as a lawyer. I actually think I'd probably be a really bad lawyer. The judge would be like, all right, you spent like 90 minutes arguing this one point. Move on, Mr. Walton. Move on. And I'm like, I didn't even get to my Tolkien rant yet. But yeah. So this one maybe not as good. But yeah, I like these questions that are like, there's really only one correct answer based on what's said in the text. But whatever. All right, enough. We're gonna wrap up stream here in a little bit, guys. I'm not doing another one of these. I'm too triggered. Oh, but I do want to see what you guys are saying here in the chat. And I missed a bunch of messages earlier while I was translating, but it would have taken me so long to catch up, so I just jumped into the middle. So if I missed what you said earlier, I apologize. I want you to know that I know that I skipped it. Does the areas you should know about in the text contain cleaning? What? Wait, what? Do you mean in general, like, you know, they tell you to prepare for this exam, it's just like, basically just know everything, right? You can be asked about anything and any situation that you might find yourself in everyday life. You know, like this. Is this an everyday situation? No. This is not an everyday situation unless you suffer this problem of not knowing how to like clean, or maybe you have other mental problems or whatever, or just general problems that prevent you from being able to keep a tidy house, right? But you're still expected to know all of this. Oh, but whatever. Home economics teacher Tina claims Americans do not know the benefits of taking your linen outside in the freezing weather. Oh, well, I mean, how about this? Even if that were true, it doesn't mean we should know to take the entire mattress and pillows and blankets. In America, if you take your stuff and leave it outside, that means it's free for someone to take. That's our cultural if you leave something like in your front yard, like next to the curb, that means you're leaving it out to be thrown away, and someone can take it so that it doesn't have to go to the landfill. Jay says, I've also never seen a mattress outside, but other bedding, yes. I have seen other bedding outside, but only in summer. Never in winter. But have you been looking on people's balconies in an active way? Oh, that's an interesting comment. Maybe people are putting stuff on their balcony where it freezes. But does that count as taking it outside? Your balcony is part of the apartment. It's not outside the apartment. but it is maybe out, it's a semi-outdoor area. And so, but the thing is, some people actually have hoarding problems, or they just use their balcony as storage. So how am I supposed to know that they are, they're practicing a cultural tradition of freezing their mattress when they've got like tons of like children's bikes and other junk jumbled all around it? That to me doesn't seem like, yes, they're just trying to be tidy. Because if that was the priority, they wouldn't have so much junk on their balcony. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've seen these balconies. They're such eyesores that people just treat their balcony, and it's all like a glass balcony. They treat it like a storage unit that just fills up with junk. You know, it's basically at that point a safety hazard. The excess weight on that balcony probably isn't very good for the structural integrity of the building in the long run, but you know, whatever. But in all fairness to Tyler, Poyu, thank you. The questions were not formulated the best way. Thank you very much. To be fair, the mattress outside is a constant shoulda, woulda, coulda type of thing. Yes, thank you. This is an aspirational, this is an exam even Finnish people can't pass. Maybe that's part of the exam. That you need to know not just what Finnish people are doing, but what Finnish people would like to be doing. Right? That you, yeah, it's even if none of them actually ever do it. Oh yeah. I think the question's a good one. If you think that your objective is to understand what the home ec teachers are trying to communicate. The M8 question. I disagree. I fundamentally disagree, because the point of a text is not to logically add on further conclusions. If something is not claimed in the text, then you can't say that the text claims it. So it's false. Even if logically it could be claimed, right? Or it could fit. That's where it starts. That's where I feel like test writers fail in their role. And maybe this is also just a problem with writing true and false questions, that people think, oh, it should make sense, right? But then they don't really consider how, from the perspective of a test taker, you're trying to understand what the test writer is doing. And once you get into these mind games, that's where a test really starts to fall apart, especially with true and false questions. Because it's like, it could be true, but it's not true according to the text. That doesn't mean it's ultimately untrue. But yes, the home economics teachers might be trying to communicate that, but they don't. So you have to say it's false, because it's not actually what they communicated. You can call out BS after completing the exam. If you can argue all what you've said today in Finnish, I guess you'd pass. But anyways, yeah. I try not, I mean, it's fun a little bit, and especially when we're on stream, for me to get a little, what's the word, on my soapbox, right? I feel like I needed to defend myself. I needed that. Even if I haven't convinced a single one of you to join my side, I needed that. I needed to die on a small hill, all right? Making a mountain of a molehill. But still, I mean, it is good practice. Like, overall, I don't want to, like, I'm glad that at least we are getting some questions, you know, and practice questions like this that can be really helpful. So it is good, but it is kind of frustrating that there aren't more websites where you can practice these specific types of texts and questions. I don't know, maybe we should build it. Maybe we should build the ultimate guide to passing the Uki exam, where it's like you practice every single day, just like a reading comprehension or a listening comprehension with actual test exam questions, you know? Or like not actual exam questions, but you know, simulated ones that represent the test quite well. I feel like that would be a really good. And imagine if alongside the text, you also had grammatical explanations or like tips of like our key vocabulary to know here's the topic, so that you could study like, oh, if you messed up, here are the words, like here are key phrases for you to practice with like flashcards that you could use. That could be pretty useful, but that website doesn't exist. Maybe we should build it. 27, what's up? You love the smell of your F5 key. It's very refreshing. Good. But okay, now, okay, the balcony is outside. This is important cultural knowledge. But I feel like so many balconies in Finland, they have glass that completely contains them. Sure, they get cold, but if your balcony is like literally an aquarium, you know, a terrarium for humans, then that's not outside anymore. just because I can open the window of my apartment, that doesn't make the inside suddenly the outside. Why is the balcony, if your balcony does not have any of those glass panels that can completely seal it off, then yes, it is an outdoor balcony. But most balconies I've seen, they all have like a roof and the glass. And this is another hill I'm gonna, apparently we are finding all the hills I'm gonna die on today. uh 27 says storing items on a balcony creates a major fire hazard. A high fire load means a fire can start easily and spread fast. Wind can push flames into your home or to other floors. So yeah, there you go. That's cultural knowledge for you, but half of Finland doesn't practice that. Finnish people aren't even Finnish. Oh, I think this is also what's so hilarious to me about this concept of a citizenship exam, right? That somehow if an immigrant can prove that they understand the laws, right? The cultural practices of a country, that then they can be citizens. But who are the people most likely to break the laws and the cultural practices? The Finnish people themselves. They don't even follow their own rules, right? And if you really think about it, the person who's going to be most adept at passing these citizenship exams are the very people most likely to spend all their time trying to evade the rules and the laws, right? Criminals understand the law better than the average person because they have to try to avoid getting caught. So why don't we give them the highest citizen award, you know? Like, it's all so stupid. It's almost like you're being punished before you've even done anything wrong. It wouldn't be so bad if it was more like a government program, like you just take if you took a class and the focus of the class was on like learning these things, but in a positive way. And maybe there's an exam at the end, but it's not like, I don't know. It's more just based on how the teacher has taught the class, not like, oh, the government is demanding that you prove certain things before you have the privilege of citizenship. I mean, should we subject Finnish people to the exam, and when they fail, we take their citizenship away and then they become stateless? We set up a penal colony in the archipelago somewhere where they have to work, I don't know, in a factory or something and study. They have to spend all day studying in order to prove themselves worthy of existing in society as a full member of society. Sorry, you can't vote in the parliamentary elections any longer because you didn't know when a certain war happened, 800 years ago. Sorry, but you're just too dumb. You're too dumb to be a Finnish citizen. I think the dumbest of us should be included in the citizenship, all right? But that's just my belief. Although I think there are, in some cases, exceptions you can get if you actually do have a disability, or like someone is like, for example, too old. I think they might waive the requirement. So to be fair, there are some exceptions or whatever to certain requirements. But anyways, I'm getting carried away. So hold on, wait. Helion says the text might not claim it, but the teachers being interviewed were. But they weren't. They weren't. The teachers did not claim that you should put your mattress or your pillows outside. So the basics of communication theory would say that the signal is distorted by the noise in the medium. What? Okay, now you lost me there, because I disagreed with your first sentence. But anyways, I don't think you have the same facts as me on what is actually being claimed. Possibly that's due to my lack of understanding the Finnish language. But nobody has pointed out to me that a mattress is part of what is being put outside. A small hill made of dust mighty bed linen and mattresses. Yeah, yes. Yeah, you need to do active studying. Yeah. One influencer you saw just launched an AI-based Finnish learning app. Suspect that if you'd suggest the idea to them, they'd be up for it. Yeah, the AI stuff, like, maybe there's definitely room for like certain types of text that could be AI generated. But at least in my experience, I don't know. First of all, I wouldn't be able to verify it, right? And the other problem is like, yeah, I don't know. There's so many opportunities for it to mess up that it's kind of a nightmare, I guess. But maybe it could be useful, but in the right hands and under very direct and limited kind of use, I guess. But it is tricky. If I can use my balcony as a freezer for my produce during winter, it is outside for me, says Zio. Oh, yeah. Okay, Finnish people all feel that the balcony is outside. The intent. Wait, how do you know the intent for those teachers, Helion? The intent for those teachers were to communicate that put your mattress as well outside. That's pretty clear for you from the text, for real, but it got lost in communication / translation. Is that a failure of my understanding of Finnish? Because because then that's just a bad question. Unless I misunderstood something in the text. Because you could read any text and say, oh, well, I think that it was intended that they were trying to say this. But if they didn't actually say that, like in the actual content of the text, like if I would be more willing to say that, okay, if petit vate actually includes all of these other things, put your entire bedroom outside, then okay, like that's what that word means. But that's not what that word means. Or maybe it does mean that. And all of the learning resources I have access to, like Wiktionary and Google Translate, are wrong. Well, at that point, I just throw my hands up and I'm just like, you know what? Fail me. fail me and kick me out of this country. I don't want to learn Finnish anymore. Like, I don't even want to learn it. If it's that insane and difficult to understand the subtle nuances of every word, like I want questions to be hard and to get a question wrong, but for a reason that actually like informs me of something more meaningful. But I don't see how understanding this helps me in any way to understand the language better. If anything, it's misleading, because then I'd be like, if I wasn't actively having you guys help me and looking up the words, then I would be like, oh, okay, if this is true, that it is a good idea to put these things outside, then this word must include the mattress and everything. So now when I tell people to wash their bed linens, I should be clear that it's not including the mattress. I only want them to wash the bed sheet. I don't want them to put the whole bed pillow in the washing machine. I don't know, right? Like, I guess that's my point. It's like, but I get it that Helion, you clearly have a very strong sense that you agree with this type of question, but I don't come to the same conclusion based on the argument you've given me. It's a good case to illustrate how communication works. I mean, I suppose, or how it doesn't work, at least in my case. Does anyone in chat agree that patyat isn't part of Petivatet? Most/all of us disagree with you. I don't remember seeing this. Okay, so apparently Petivatet, the bed clothing, also includes all the bedding, like the whole mattress and pillows and everything. But that's very confusing. I guess it's such a small thing. But it is frustrating that you get a question wrong even when you translate the word with multiple services, and you go on, and not just Google Translate, but you go to like, Petivate. This is not the correct translation. Right? Bedclothes does not include a mattress. Clothing worn. Oh, this is also confusing because bedclothes, actually, I would think of it as this. Like your pajamas, the clothing that you wear when you get in bed. Those are your bedclothes. Bed linens refers to what you put on the bed. Bedding could refer to everything. Bedding is probably the correct translation, not bedclothes. But I don't know, maybe this is just a one-off, but this is a good illustration of how difficult it is maybe to learn any language in general, and I'm just getting upset about it. What's the opposite of artificial intelligence? Natural stupidity. Yes. But yeah, I wasn't aware that Petivatet includes the mattress, because in English, when we say bed linen, that does not include the mattress. Like, the linen is just the sheets. So I guess like the way you're saying it maybe makes more sense in Finnish, and that's the point. But it's so difficult. It's so difficult to tease that out. Yeah, know you're frustrated, but that's the system you have to deal with. I suppose so. I suppose. But yeah, Wiktionary is not the complete thesaurus. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I only have so much time, and to use the best resources I have. I can't look up a word in 9 different dictionaries to understand why I got it wrong. That's all I can say. But I guess the solution is just to move on. And yeah, with that, I probably should wrap up the stream, guys. Thank you all for helping me. It was a good idea to do this specific type of practice, and I need to do more of these for all the different components, because there's 4 components on the exam. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of that. And shout out to Jyväskylä University for putting this together. Even though I'm kind of like, trashing it, it is in jest, in good, in good faith. Is that the right way to say it? Like, I'm glad they put these questions here, and it's fun to sort of take a position. And I guess I did learn that petit vate includes the freaking mattress. All right. Yeah, apparently so. So then yeah. But guys, all right. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I'll definitely do a few more streams this week for Stardew. So pay attention to that. I won't stream tomorrow, but I will stream on Thursday and maybe over the weekend. But then next week I'll be away. And yeah, the next whatever Finnish stream will be 2 weeks from today. And if I do extra Finnish streams, I'll let you guys know in advance, not just a few minutes before. I'll like post. I might do a few extra before the exam. That's a maybe. But if I do decide that the week before the exam is on the 29th. So if I do that, I'll post about it. And you guys can, and I'll try not to get so triggered that we only do one practice exam question. We'll do a few extra. We'll hopefully be a little, I don't know if more productive is the right word, but you get the idea. We'll maybe do a bit more. But yeah. Thanks for the longer stream and entertaining ranting. Good. At least it was entertaining, at least. It's good to get it out there and get it off your chest. Sometimes people are like, oh, complaining doesn't do anybody any good. It does me a little good. All right. It's like, if complaining wasn't so enjoyable, like, why wouldn't, like, late night TV wouldn't exist. We wouldn't have John Oliver or Stephen Colbert, right? It's just pointing out kind of what's annoying or frustrating and I don't know, taking the piss out of it. So yeah. But Helion says, this is quite interesting for us to see as well. What are the approaches, assumptions, and pitfalls for someone who comes to these situations from the outside? Pakkasesta, if you will. Yes. I'm in the freezing cold, trying to warm up next to the fire of the Finnish language that I cannot seem to. I don't know. The analogy is falling flat for me, but yeah, it is. I think that's also what's interesting about these live streams is that I hope that's what's interesting for you guys to see how I'm progressing with learning and yeah, what the difficulties are, right? That, for example, in English, bed linens, which would typically probably be the simplest translation, right, can kind of throw you off because for a Finnish person, it's not just the linens. It could include these other objects as well. So those sorts of things, but you learn as you go. And you can't sweat it because at the end of the day, you don't need to get a perfect score to pass. I sort of have to, like, what's the word, rectify or reconcile myself with the fact that I'm probably going to get a really bad score, but that bad score might still be just good enough. And that's all I need, baby. All right. Am I going to give up learning Finnish? That would be so hilarious. I get the passing grade, but then I never speak Finnish. Like, I'm so traumatized by learning Finnish that I just, like, I can't. I have to go to therapy for it. Oh, man. No, it's not that bad, but yeah. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, guys, thanks for following along, for supporting the stream, and we'll be back at it next week, 2 weeks from today at the latest. So, yep, same time, around 7 p.m. Finland time is when we go live. Cool. All right, guys, have a good rest of your week and a good next week as well if I don't see you in a Stardew stream. And yeah, we'll get back at it. All right, goodbye.